Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I love this electric energy you've been bringing lately. How did you get it, and how can I get some? Maybe with some electronic musical gear? Well, that's what I'm trying today. Today I have the Roland JX-08. It is a synthesizer from their boutique line, and it was sent to me by my friends at Perfect Circuit. I was talking to Bryce at Perfect Circuit, and I said, you know, I've never really gotten into synths, but I kind of want to. I feel like I'm at a point where it's something that I'd be interested in. And this is what he recommended. So they sent this over to me in exchange for doing some videos with it. So big thanks to Perfect Circuit. So let's talk about Perfect Circuit for a second. They're an independently owned music retailer based in Burbank, California, and they specialize in electronic musical gear. That's synths, we're talking Euro rack modules, we're talking drum machines, interfaces, even effects pedals, and all the cables you need to go along with those things. Plus, they have some really cool merch, swag, lifestyle gear as well. And they have a physical showroom in Burbank, California. That's, I'm pretty sure, northern LA. Yeah, so check them out if you're there. If you're not in California, they ship worldwide from their website, and you can find an affiliate link to that website in the video description. Please consider using that link if you shop at Perfect Circuit. It's a great way to support the channel doing things you're probably going to do anyways. All right. But let's talk about why we're here. We're here to talk about the JX-08, and you might be thinking, Emily, you're a guitarist. What do you know about synths? And the answer is very, very little. Most of what I know about synths comes from copywriting for my day job, which is not something we talk about a lot. But I've been kind of impressed with how easy it is to get started with the JX-08. There's still a learning curve, don't get me wrong, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Let's talk about the features some. We have just standard notes. We have arpeggio, so you can work smarter, not harder. If you don't have a keyboard, you can just play the notes there by hitting this note, and they're right here. You can even go down an octave or up a few. And there's a sequencer, which I haven't really dug into, and I won't in this video because I need to learn more about it first. But it just sounds so cool, and it's on my list. Let's talk about some of the features here and how to build patches. Firstly, it comes with, let's see, we have an A part, a B part, 4 banks, 8 patches per bank. That's 64 presets just for the patches. Turn off the arpeggio. Get over here and turn that octave down a few times. There we go. Of course, that's not the only way you can turn down an octave. You can also tune these two digitally controlled oscillators. They mash together via this mixer to create, you can really fine-tune sounds. And that's really cool. So let's start with, start on the left and kind of move toward the right. We have LFO, that's the low frequency oscillator. That's what kind of gives you that wub-wub sound at the end of a note. And you can control when that arrives or when that hits via the delay time. So you can control the rate, the delay time, and the waveform. We have a sine wave, a square wave, and random. Kind of cool. Yeah, so cool options there. Then you can control whether or not you even want the LFO in there on each digitally controlled oscillator. All the way down, you're not going to hear it. Well, that's still up there. So all the way down, you're not going to hear it. And if you turn it all the way down there as well. So no oscillator. But you can turn either or both up. And you can turn it up there. So that's pretty important. This is kind of the amount of each, and that feels like the amount overall. Could be wrong. You can also tune each digitally controlled oscillator. And then there's octave ranges here as well. And waveforms. So we have a sawtooth. This is the square. And then there's noise, which is actually kind of cool. You have that for both. You also have a portamento, which I'm not going to get into. Then we have this cross mod here. Like I said, I don't know a ton about synths. I know enough to be vaguely aware of things. Cross mod is something that I just will go between them all until I find the one that I like the best. And sometimes I change my mind halfway through. There's also some envelopes here. And there's one for each DCO, and there's also some modes. I usually keep those turned down. And then there's an envelope over here that I don't tend to use a ton. I've used it a little bit, making this DCO2 kind of a noise sound, and then having that kind of just like kind of hit. It's hard to explain. But you can really hear it on that mode. So I'm going to turn that back up to a sawtooth. Then obviously the mixer is the blend between those two DCOs. There's a high pass filter. I'm going to keep that all the way down though. It's my understanding it can help it sit in a mix a little bit better. Then we have the voltage controlled filters, the cutoff frequency. The resonance. The LFO, which we already talked about. And key follow. Which I don't have a strong understanding of what that is, so this one where I kind of mess around until I like the sound. We have a VCA level, and we have two modes. We have an envelope 2 and a gate mode. I find depending on how other things are set affects how intense the difference is between those modes. Sometimes it's really apparent, and sometimes it's not as apparent to me. And I think that's has to do with other things going on, is my guess. I know I'm going to get so many comments on this video, like, you should learn how to play it before you demo it. That's the point of this video. I'm just showing you my experience with it and how I use it, so sorry. And then we have the envelope, and you can control the envelope of a DCO 1 or 2 by just pressing between those. We can control attack, decay, sustain, and release. Keep the sustain all the way up. And that's kind of cool. So now let's talk about the effects. We have reverb. Turn the release down. Yeah, there you can hear it a little better that way. You can hear a little bit better when there's not a lot when the releases turn down quite a bit. There's also chorus 1 and 2. But those aren't the only effects. There's a lot of effects built into this thing. To access those, you touch both of those so they're both lit up. Hold down on one and press down on the value knob, and you can get some different modes. So there are 3 choruses. Turn the LFOs down so you can hear the effects better. And then we have some delays. That's a panning delay. This is all down mixed to mono, unfortunately. That's just how my software's acting today, but third delay, reverse, which is kind of fun, overdrive, bit crusher, phasers, which I've been having a lot of fun with. Let me actually have some fun. Fun with phasers. I like that one a lot. Let me do something really quickly. So I like that one a lot. We can then hit the value button again, and we can control different parameters of it. All right. Let's see whether or not sync the time. That, and then there is a bunch of things, and each type of effect has its own controls as well. So that's still working. So let's hit note. I'm gonna go down an octave again, because what I really want to do is I want to create kind of a bass line for a song I've been working on. That brings us into how I've been using this. Been using it a lot in recording. I'm, primarily a guitarist, so I've been starting with like guitar tracks, and I've been adding synths below that. And I feel like as I get more confident with synthesizers, they'll be a bigger part of my recording. But my big thing is I didn't take a lot of piano lessons. I took them for a few months as a kid, and that was it. So I want to try to figure out a way to so I just need to get more comfortable with that. And it's been a lot easier than I expected. It's translating a little bit more than anticipated, but it's just a little more trial and error for me. But let's start with a patch that I think would be a good bass patch. Not that. Oh, I like that. There's not a ton in that I want to change. I want to maybe add a delay with some oscillation. Maybe not that. That's better. I like that. So yeah, it's going to sound different depending on which DCO you add the LFO to, so I like this one better. Let's see if changing the cross mod. I like that. Do I like the attack? Ooh, I like that. Oh, that's nice. I want the sustain all the way up. I just already know that. I like the release where it is, so I'm not going to touch that. And that's another thing. As you get more familiar with this device, you're going to be able to hear something and be like, oh, I like this element of it. I don't like this element of it. But starting with the patches and just kind of messing around, sometimes messing up, then navigating away from it and back to it because you didn't save the changes, and then starting over, that's what I've been doing a lot of, and it's made me a lot more comfortable hearing it and kind of knowing what's going on. So let's see if I can change the waveform a little bit. Yeah, so that was pretty clearly already on the sawtooth. Oh, that sounds very synthy. I want something a little bit warmer or less synthy than that, so I'm going to go back to the sawtooth. Let's see if I... I've kind of messed with this. Let me just try one more thing. Let's just try one more thing. Let's see if this one has a big difference on the mode. Again, not a huge difference to my ears, but that doesn't mean there isn't one. And let's go to that phaser sound I liked. Type phaser 2, so I'm already in there. And I think that it has all my... I think it's saved my sound. So I like this sound. Let's record with it. Have a bass line. It took a couple tries, and one thing I've realized is I need to get more consistent with how I touch the keys, because that is very different from... Yeah, so that's just a practice thing I need to do on my end, but I really like how that sounded. Next, I kind of want to get something kind of airy to go over some parts of that melody I had written on guitar. So let's hear what we got. Not that. Bank 2. Oh, that kind of nice. It's not perfect, but I think we can get it perfect. So let me see which is which. I like the whistly part, but I still want it to be underneath. Let's see how it sounds with different... I don't like the X mod very much on that. So that first DCO is a square wave already. They both are. And maybe I fine tune it. Nice. I don't really want to mess with this one too much. I kind of like it as it is. like that. Like that down there. I like the attack, decay, sustain, release. And there's a little bit of delay happening. So I don't really want to mess with this. I really like this one out of the box. Let me go ahead and I'm actually going to normalize that just so I can see it better and turn it way down. All right, let's get going. Was every note a winner? No. But I really like the sound. It inspired in me something different than I otherwise might have done if I just had the guitar in my hands. And that's one of the things I really love about this little synthesizer. For not a lot of money, you can get a lot of different sounds, really malleable sounds of that matter. And it can really inspire something you probably weren't going to do otherwise because you couldn't. So my final thought on the JX-08, it's really cool. I really like it. It's easier to use than I thought it would. That's not to say there isn't a learning curve, because there definitely is. I highly recommend watching more tutorial videos to learn more about synths in general and this one in particular. But I've had a great time, and I can't thank Perfect Circuit enough for sending this to me. Again, if you want to get this or anything else in the world, especially electronic music stuff, check out Perfect Circuit, see what they have. It's a really well curated collection of devices, and I really like them for that. Do they have everything on the planet? No, but what they have is really good, and I appreciate that. And again, they ship worldwide. So yeah, thanks again, Perfect Circuit, and thank you to everyone for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check us out at patreon.com/getoffset. Tell your favorite brands about us, and thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.